Hi folks. Well, we've got another car repair to have to do today. My wife reports that this right rear tire on the 2010 Honda Odyssey van is losing air. The tire pressure monitor system keeps coming on, and I've checked it now twice over the course of the last 2 weeks, and it was down each time to about 27, 28 pounds. Of course, I put air in each time, and then that solved the problem for a while, but there's obviously a slow leak. So what I need to do is find out what's going on here. My guess is there's some kind of a nail or something in the tire that's still in the tire, probably on the tread, so that's allowing a little bit of air to escape, but not enough to make it go flat. I'm hoping that's the case, because if it turns out that the valve stem is getting worn and defective, these specialty valve stems with the tire pressure monitoring system attached are like, I don't know, they're like $40 to replace rather than $1 or $2. So I'm hoping that they're still good. I'm hoping that's not the problem, that I can simply find something easy to repair. So first step is to take the tire off and examine it. If I can see the head of a nail or a screw, that makes it simple. If not, then I've got to look for air bubbles somewhere and pump it up a little more and see if I can see some leaks. Hopefully that won't be the case. And then the repair will hopefully then just be to put a plug in, and I'll show you how that's done. It's not too difficult. Anybody can do it. And it's actually a kit you can carry with you in your car, that if you should have a flat tire when you're on the road, if you can get the tire off and you have a means to put air back into it, like if you have one of those small air compressors that you can plug into your data port, or your, what we used to call a cigarette lighter, the 9 or the 12 volt, then you can actually do your own repair right on the road. You don't have to go to a garage. So we'll get to that, but first step is to get it jacked up and tire off. And of course, safety first. Excuse me. The parking brake is on, and I will block the other rear tire so the vehicle cannot move when it's up on the jack. Okay, we'll get back. Okay, we've got the tire off from the van, as you can see, and we have lucked out. It's an obvious problem, and it should be a relatively simple fix. If I can zoom in here, I don't know how close the camera will let me get. If you look right there, that's the head of a small nail. And I can see a little bit of bubbling. You probably can't see that on camera, but let me just, this is soapy water I keep here for this kind of purpose, to find leaks. Just see if that'll show you the bubbling. You see the bubbling going on there right by the nail head? You can see it's just slowly leaking air out. Now again, this should be an easy fix. What I'm going to do is get the head of my needle nose pliers around that nail and pull it out. What I'll have to do is take all the air out of the tire in order to patch it, because you'll never force a plug in with the tire being pumped up like it is. So I've got to then take my valve stem remover, let all the air come out of the tire, and I'll show you that in just a second. But let me get the nail out first, and then I can show you where we go from here. Well, as you can hear, the air is hissing out. Hole right there, right here. And this is what was in it. Just the head of a screw that had been broken off. I don't know. This doesn't look like any screws that I use here as far as the type. It's certainly not a drywall screw. It's not the kind of screw I was using on the roof. So I doubt if it's something that she picked up here. Could have been out on the road anywhere. But that's all it took to punch through. These tires are relatively worn. I've got to replace them anyhow. But that's all it took. This is only about maybe, not quite a half an inch in depth and in length, and it was still enough to punch through to the inside of the tire so that you had a leak. So let's see if that works better. So now what I need to do is take all the air out of the tire from the valve stem, of course, and I use this little tool here. I don't know if you've ever seen one of these. If you've never have, it's a good one to use for tire repair. This allows you to, well, it's a multi-tool. You can actually use that to ream a little bit if you need to. This is the side that I'm going to be using, this area that's notched there. You see that? That grabs the stem, the valve stem insert, or what we call the guts, and it screws screws in, so you screw it out with this thing, twist it out, and then all the air can come out. So it's not a very expensive tool. It's a good one to have if you do any of your own tire repair, or any kind of tire, whether it's lawnmower, utility cart, tiller, anything that has a valve stem that you put air in it, even the inner tubes as well. So to get the air out when you need to do repairs, this is the simplest, easiest tool to have for that. So that's my next move, to let all the air out, and then I can begin to. All right, we are ready to do our repair on this tire. All the air is out, and for this I'm going to use a plug repair kit. Now this is the basic kit right here. You can get these almost anywhere, and you can even, the cheaper ones don't have the T handles on the top, but I like these because you can grip them better, and because you do have to apply some force. The first thing you're going to do is take this, basically it's a rasp, it's like a file with a tip on it, and what you're going to do is you're going to push this down into the hole where whatever was in your tire was in. And again, you're going to just keep pushing up and down on it like you're filing it with this. You're cleaning the hole so that the plug will fit more securely and snugly in it. So just shove it down in. It may take some force and pressure to do that, and then just keep pushing up and down for 4 or 5, 6 times, whatever it takes, so you feel like you've got it adequately cleaned. And then you're going to peel one of these plugs out of this. They keep them in plastic because it's adhesive on this plug. It's kind of a fiber, I guess, but it's got adhesive on it. You're going to pull one of these out, and you're going to hook it in this probe here. You're going to slide it in through it so that it's folded basically in half, and then you're going to have it so that it's the tails are sticking up, so that your fold is in the top here, and then the tails will stick up. Then you take some rubber cement and just kind of put some on the outside of the plug. That's just to seal it better. And then once you have that, you're going to take this with the plug in it and shove it down into the hole. Again, it's going to take some work to get it down in. You want to push it in maybe 2/3 of the way into the hole. And then once it is in place, you want to pull straight up with this probe. As you can see, there's a split end on the tip there, so it won't pull your plug back out again. It'll just extract the probe there. And then all you have to do is any excess plug that's sticking up out of the tread of the tire, just cut it off flush with the tread, whether you have a diagonal cutting pliers, a utility knife, a scissors, whatever works for you to do it. And that's it. Then all you have to do is reinflate your tire, bring it up to what the requirements are, 35 pounds or whatever your particular tire has, and then just double check to make sure there are no leaks, and you're done. You can put it back on the car and you're ready to go. So this is a kit that I recommend you keep in your car. As I said before in this video, if you have one of these with you and you have the means to reinflate your tire, that you have one of those temporary, or not temporary, but portable air compressor units that you can plug into your cigarette lighter, you can actually fix your tire on the road without ever having to go anywhere. Just pull off to a rest stop and you can do the repair yourself, probably in a matter of, I don't know, half an hour or so, depending on how quickly it can work. And you can be back on the road again. So this is a very good tool to have. It comes, like I said, it comes in a kit, and you can get them auto parts stores, Walmart, a number of different places they're available. So, and they're not all that expensive. So it's something I recommend that you certainly keep in your shop, because if you have tubeless tires, You may need it from time to time, and it's even better if you keep it in your toolbox in your car or your truck, because then it's with you when you need it. So we're ready to work on this, and we'll show you our end result. Alright, I thought I'd just show you what it looks like with the plug in place and the probe. I just worked it through in between. It's about halfway on each side, and as you can see, I put some rubber cement on it. It's dripping a little bit there. So it's ready to insert into the tire. I've already cleaned it with the reaming tool, the file, the rasp, whatever you want to call it. And now it's ready to be repaired. So we'll come back to you with the next. Okay, as you can see, the plug is now in place. I actually got it in a little further than I wanted, but it'll be okay. Now what I'll do before I cut it off is I'll reinflate the tire and check for leaks, and then I'll just trim the top there a little bit, and we should be good to go. But I just wanted to show you what it looks like in place. So that's all there is to it, really. It just takes a little bit of muscle to shove that down in there, but once it's in, it will fill in the space where the hole was, and the air pressure will hold the plug in place, and you should be good. Okay, we'll get back to you with the. Okay, we're back on the vehicle. We should be all done. Now I will probably check the air in this maybe in a day or so, just to make sure that there are no slow leaks, but I think we're good. And this solves our problem in repairing this tire that had the slow leak because of the screw head in it. So this is a simple repair that you can do on your own. Saves time and a lot of money going to a shop to have it done. And it's been my experience that the plugs hold for a fairly long period of time. I don't just do them temporary and then go and have a patch put on the inside. I've never done that, and I've plugged, I don't know, maybe half a dozen tires or more in my time, and they all seem to hold. So now granted, this tire isn't going to be on this vehicle a whole lot longer just because it needs to be replaced. The tread is getting low and we're getting into winter, so but it'll get us through what we need it to get us through until it can be replaced. So very simple repair. That kit I showed you, including the plugs, is maybe $5 or $6 depending where you get it, and you can also get just replacement plugs if you go through the ones that come with the kit. So it's something that is easy to purchase and maintain, and it can be very valuable should you run into a problem like this. So just a tip for country living on a shoestring. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe to our channel.